Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ridland. I'm John Ridland. I'm back with more of the worst gimmicks, characters in WWE history. Ongoing series. Various people have submitted ones. I've done my own. Various people have submitted them from YouTube and Twitter, and you guys can feel free to do that if you want to leave a comment in this video with WWE worst gimmicks. Bear in mind that I've already done. This is my third part. So I'm getting to where maybe you might already list gimmicks I've covered. So just watch the previous videos and, make notes of it or whatever. They aren't very long videos, and I hope you enjoy them. But now these are going to come from one person on YouTube, one person on Twitter, who also comments on my YouTube. And then I also have WCW ones, and also feel free to leave me any Impact Wrestling ones on those themed videos that I've done. So anyway, here we go with more WWE worst gimmicks. Jamie Mitchell from YouTube. You said these on my first video. I'm finally getting to them. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't ignoring you, so thank you very much for submitting those. Now, these were when I did my first video. So the first one, Rosie, aka Roman Reigns' older brother, when he was a superhero, the superhero in training, SHIT. This is before his death. And I'm not saying he's knocking him he's not. It's just the gimmick was ridiculous and it didn't really benefit him. But people did seem to love it. I didn't care for it, but I'm not going to really speak ill of the dead right here, especially the recently dead. But yeah, the gimmick was ridiculous. The Berserker, yeah, it was a guy in goofy Viking gear and he carried a sword. He carried a sword at first, and I'm just like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do with a sword? What in the world is this? It's like, what was he gonna? Is he gonna hack the Undertaker's arm off? It's like, what is he gonna do with this? It was ridiculous, and the whole huff, or whatever he did while holding his hand out. I couldn't decide if he had carpal tunnel or if he was trying to do Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more? I wasn't sure what he was trying to do. Yeah, the Berserker was silly. The Spirit Squad, any incarnation, whether it was when it was all five guys or the most recent incarnation when it was Kenny and I believe Mikey. Yeah, that was stupid. It was stupid. My God, it was stupid. And it's sad because all the guys, well, not Mitch, because Mitch didn't really wrestle. I think he had an injury. Or he didn't wrestle that often. Most of the guys were talented. Like Kenny was pretty talented, and of course, Dolph Ziggler came out of the gimmick. And did pretty well. It was not good. It was not good because then they ended up getting sent back to Ohio Valley Wrestling in a whole burial thing. And they got beat all the time by DX. They barely won despite being tag team champions for about 6 months. Yeah, it was silly. The Goon, he was a hockey guy that liked to beat people up. Now, look, I know there are goons in hockey still, even though the NHL is trying to legislate fighting out of their league for the most part. But yeah, the Goon, he had a hockey stick, he had hockey gloves, all the gear and stuff like that. Was he gonna take hockey skates and start stabbing people with them? This is a stab heavy show so far. Yeah, the Goon was just an example of Vince McMahon's creative juices, maybe being passe. Because a lot of that stuff during the Monday Night Raw era, early Raw era, was not connecting with the audience at that time. Yeah, the Goon was crap. It's Santa Claus with an X. I believe this was Balls Mahoney. He was an evil Santa Claus. What good was this going to do? This wasn't going to do anyone any good because he couldn't keep appearing all the time throughout the year because Christmas themed stuff should only appear around Christmas, and it was silly. It was ridiculous. It was bad. It was just not any good. Just not any good at all. Battle Cat, yeah, it was like, Battle Cat. He was a masked cat guy. This was not Tiger Mask. This was not Prince Puma and Lucha Underground, aka King Ricochet. This is not a whole bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, this Battle Cat, and it did not last very long at all. It was not good. And the Gobbledygooker, Hector Guerrero deserved better. That much I can say about that. They hyped this up for weeks, something hatching out of that egg, and then something hatched out of that egg, and then unfortunately, it was that. It was somebody in a turkey chicken suit thing. God, Hector Guerrero deserves so much better than this. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Now, so thank you, Jamie Mitchell, for saying those in. Now to JJF Tweets on Twitter, and he also comments on my YouTube channel. Matt Morgan with the stuttering gimmick. I actually covered this recently in my Judgment Day history series, and it was really, really bad. It was really, really bad because it did nothing for Matt Morgan, who's athletic and gifted, and could do a whole lot of really cool things for a big guy, for a guy that's 7 feet tall, and you can teach that because Matt Morgan's actually legit 7 feet, I believe. Yeah, stuttering. I mean, it's like the stuttering gimmick. It barely even worked for Bubba Ray Dudley in ECW, even though people, it got him heat and stuff like that. Yeah, stuttering gimmicks, speech impediment gimmicks, easy for me to say, never work. Boogie and Little Boogie. I like the Boogeyman. I can see why people didn't really like the gimmick. I mean, it was silly, but it's like, I don't mind the Boogeyman, the man behind the gimmick. The gimmick did run its course on WWE after a bit, and they had to use him more as a special attraction. Little Boogie was unnecessary. It really, really was. They did not need to have him. They did not need to have a mini version of him, and same when they brought Hornswoggle in, it was bad. It was bad television. Simon Dean and the Gemini. Simon Dean deserved better. I mean, the Fitness Guru gimmick could have worked, but yeah, the Gemini, which were the Shane twins, I believe. They were two big guys that it could have worked, but it's like they started it, and then they pulled the rug right out from under them, and they were jobbing within a few months. And I think they were actually even off TV within 6 months. It might not even been that long. The whole pairing, just not good. And Simon Dean deserved a little better, like as far as the gimmick, but apparently the guy's not a very nice guy, so who knows? Yeah, the whole pairing gimmicks, not good. Mexicools, yeah, it took, and I believe your comments, Jerry, I believe your comments said it took 3 really cool, talented guys and gave them a horrible gimmick. Psychosis was still really talented. Hoovy is talented, but Hoovy's dickish attitude, I wasn't upset that he was necessarily buried, even though he got a Cruiserweight title reign out of it, because apparently he was a full-blown dick and a real big egotist. Super Crazy I felt bad for, though, because Super Crazy deserved a whole lot better. Psychosis had been around and had enough success in in Mexico and ECW and in WCW, where his time in WWE wasn't going to be that much. Age and mileage and stuff like that. But Hoovy, I mean, I can't say either guy deserved it, but Hoovy getting buried didn't necessarily bother me. But yeah, Super Crazy deserved better. And yeah, coming out on riding lawnmowers, that was pretty dumb and pretty racist. Maybe Hayes booked it. Jesse and Festus. Oh boy. Jesse, who Terry Gordy's son, Terry Bam Bam Gordy of the Freebirds. Really sad that he was that, and then he was Slam Master Jay. White rapper gimmick was bad, and then Festus, aka Luke Gallows, he was special, and when the bell rang, he snapped and started attacking people. And it took people a while to realize, hey, maybe we should ring the doorbell while the match is going on, and he'll go and back into his phase. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Southern Boy and his simple cousin or bigger brother. I don't never know. I mean, I don't think anybody in the South knows their relations anymore. Their family tree's a straight line. Sorry, anybody in the South. You're all cool with me. I take shots at that because I got a best friend that comes from the South, and she knows. She knows why I say that. Anyway, Fake Kane. Oh, hello, Luke Gallows. Good to see you again. Yeah, this was also bad. Because he beat the original Kane on pay-per-view, Vengeance 2006, and then got beat up and the mask got removed and he got tossed out the building. That was literally it. That was it. It was like they did the whole May 19th thing, built that up. The fake Kane ended up beating up the real Kane, Glenn Jacobs. And I guess the reason is Jacobs was contemplating retiring, which, okay. Kind of, I mean, looking back on it, maybe it's a shame he didn't retire a couple years before he did, but hopefully he successfully runs for mayor like he's planning. But yeah, Fake Kane was really shit. Katie Lee and Paul Burchill. Paul Burchill's a really good talent. Katie Lee's a very beautiful woman. Oh my God, she's beautiful. But yeah, it was an incest gimmick, brother and sister. Every brother likes to make his little sister happy. No. I'm moving on. This was disgusting. Because I kept thinking, I was like, okay, they're brother and sister, and I'm like, they're acting awfully little. I go, oh God, Vince is doing an incest angle. Oh God, why is he doing this? Oh my. It was bad. Paul Burchill deserved better, and so did Katie Lee. I love Katie Lee. I wish the WWE would give her another chance, if, she's willing to come back. But yeah, it was a bad incest gimmick, not a good thing. Matt Striker's evil teacher, he was better as a manager. The gimmick or the music was annoying, but he got under your skin with good heat. And then he did the whole Steve Irwin thing about not carelessly swimming in the ocean with stingrays right after Steve Irwin's death. I mean, look, it's like, it's one thing if I were to say a joke like that, or if somebody were to say a joke on a YouTube video, few people may see it. That's on national TV. And no, you really can't say that. You really shouldn't say that at all. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Vince said that he shouldn't have said. But yeah, Matt Striker, evil teacher. He's better as a manager. Wasn't a great wrestler. Wasn't a horrible wrestler. He just wasn't a great wrestler. Shelton Benjamin, when he was the mama's boy and pushing around whatever that was playing his mama. Some woman that I didn't really care for. Nothing against her. I just it was an unnecessary thing, and it was a way to make Shelton seem silly. I mean, the funniest thing about it is what killed the angle dead was shortly after his mama got introduced. At one point, he's pushing her along in a wheelchair, stops, and I think she slaps him, and he's trying not to laugh, not to break up laughing as he's pushing her. And I don't know exactly what, I gotta watch the episode at some point on the network and see what caused it, because I can't quite remember what caused it, but I just remember Sheldon starting to laugh, and I go, oh boy, that's going to kill it. Not that this angle had much to it. That killed this angle dead right there. But yeah, it was shit. Viscera, the sex addict. Oh God. The world's largest love machine, the world's lard-ass love machine, whatever you want to call it. I heard lard-ass love machine. Even though I know he had weight issues. I know it was the world's largest love machine. But yeah, it was silk pajama tight things, and he would hump opponents in the ring, and he tried to get with Lillian Garcia. I can't blame him. She's a pretty girl. Woman. And it's hard to believe she's 50. 51? Weird. But yeah, the sex addict thing was not that good. And by the way, I want to apologize. If you guys notice at all that my face goes a little brighter, I got my windows open and there's a bit of sun breaking through, so sometime I'm going to look like I'm, being ascended. See, like right there, I'm going to be ascended into heaven. I'm not going to heaven. But Viscera sex addict thing was just bad, and it just, it just made me uncomfortable. Face Santino, yes, he was a better heel. Because Face Santino is just ridiculous. I mean, hey, he got over and the kids seemed to like him. That's great. I didn't care for heel Santino, but at least he was enough of a dick there. Face Santino, no. Silly, ridiculous, and pointless. And, Face Kozlov. I mean, Kozlov was at one point being pushed as a pretty dominant force. And then he got jobbed out. And then he was dancing. Then he was drinking tea with Santino. Which did lead to the ginger tea comment with Sheamus, and Sheamus trying not to laugh, trying so goddamn hard not to laugh. That was pretty good. But yeah, poor Kozlov. Kozlov, if you haven't seen what shape Kozlov is in now, I look at that and I'm like, okay, that guy's in way good shape. Good for him. He seems to be doing just fine in movies and other things. And I wouldn't mind seeing the guy get one last little run in WWE if he's in shape, if his body can take it. If he's in good in-ring shape and his body can take it, and WWE's willing to use him right, cool. Have him come in, get a couple wins, and face Rusev at Mania or something like that. Or maybe not even Mania. Maybe at a SummerSlam. Seriously. Bring him in, have him come back in June. Have Rusev beat Kozlov, or have him team up and win the tag title. I'm just kidding. I'm just blue skying it. And then Big Vito in a dress. He seemed to enjoy the gimmick, but it was bad. It was really bad. Not a good use of the guy's talent at all. Really, really shit, in fact. So that's where I'm just going to leave that off. So thank you to Jamie Mitchell on YouTube and JJF Tweets on Twitter for sending me these. If you think of any more WWE gimmicks that you thought were the worst, leave them in the comments. Bear in mind I have covered quite a few, so if you don't use your suggestions, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I just may have already covered them. So anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, my Twitter handle is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with Jar Mifflin. I am Jar Mifflin, and I will see you soon.